Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, this is Silver Screen Freak, and I have tasked it upon myself to watch all the episodes of The Idol and to share my thoughts on it. So if you haven't watched my review on episode 1, you can click over here, but I'm gonna go straight into it. Okay, so in the last episode, I think I gave a lot of benefit of the doubt to the story. It was the first episode, so I kept thinking and I kept saying that it could hopefully go in different directions. It could subvert all our expectations, and we could be totally wrong. It could have been just, we all judged too fast. But did we? Let's get into it. So following from the last episode, Jocelyn has remixed her new single that she wasn't happy with before, but thanks to Tedros and his inspirational ways, Jocelyn thinks she has a hit. So she plays it for her management team, and they are not happy, to say the least. Number one, it's gonna cost too much money to redo everything, and number two, it just doesn't sound so good. This is one of the things about the show that feels so conflicting, because how do we take Jocelyn seriously when the show is making fun of her as well and the music she wants to make? And then we see the most grueling music video shoot ever. Jocelyn is super hard on herself, and the people around her are, their patience is wearing thin. And I understand where they're coming from. I'm not sure if the show is trying to make the music industry look evil, because from my eyes, from where I'm standing, Jocelyn looks a little hard to work with. I don't know if I'm supposed to be feeling bad for her because they're just doing their jobs. Nikki is a little cruel, but she does have to worry about the money, and Jocelyn flip-flopping and not being reliable, it's a big deal. It's their business, it's their livelihood.
And now you're going to sit here and tell me that it's not me. I don't like it. Well, that's too bad. It's too fucking late.
So if the show wanted me to feel bad for Jocelyn in that way, it wasn't coming across. I just thought she was a little hard to deal with. However, somewhere in the middle of the shoot, I really began to sympathize with Jocelyn. She had a very hard year, as everyone keeps talking about. Her mother passed away, and now we find out she went through some heartbreak. Her boyfriend cheated on her, and she had a meltdown, a mental breakdown that forced her to be hospitalized for 8 months and to cancel her tour. So yeah, I understand, and I think Lily Rose Depp did this scene really well. I really felt for her and her pain, physically, mentally. She's exhausted, calling out her mother. It's sad. Yet I still don't feel that terrible for her that her management team aren't more parental towards her. I mean, Hank Azaria's character, sorry, I don't even know his name, and this woman, they're doing an okay job comforting her as much as they can, but in a professional setting, it's not really in their job description to be a father or mother to her. And I think they're being quite nice to her about it. If anything, I think this says more about American work culture and how people are just expected to pick up after themselves so quickly after dealing with grief and trauma and loss and stuff like that, and how there's not enough support for things like this. And watching her this whole episode, it kept reminding me of Cassie from Euphoria. Both women, they're going through a lot of stuff, internally and mentally, and we feel for them. We feel bad for them because it's sad to see someone in that state. But at the same time, I just find it quite disturbing how both these women are infantilized so much. They're unable to make sound judgments and good decisions. They're in constant need of other people to take care of them. It's only episode 2, and it's so evident with Jocelyn. She needs to be parented by her management team, and if it's not from there, she needs support from Tedros. With Cassie, it was a similar thing. Her dad had left her when she was young. It had a lasting imprint on her, and she really looked to Nate for support and comfort. And I gotta say, it's disturbing, and it's a little creepy from the fact that these women are portrayed so much like children in a way, emotionally, yet they're so hypersexualized. And now I understand why everyone's calling Sam Levinson a creep.
I'm telling you, I want to be bigger than this song. I want to be a once-in-a-generation artist, and I want to make music that lasts longer than my life.
Practically broke. You're not putting out any new music. You're not focused at all.
I don't know, it's a little exhausting to watch this. And again, I just don't understand the choice of shots. It just makes the show not look as artsy as it wants to be. It makes it look trashy. You know, the shot of Jocelyn's thighs after it gets cut. It would. How long do you want to linger on her crotch? It was just so not tasteful. I think this is exactly why people think Sam Levinson is a creep. Weird direction. Weird choice of shot, man. I bet when Amy Seimetz did this scene, there was no crotch shot. And speaking of Amy Seimetz, I mean, look at the costuming. It just screams written and directed by men. It's so laughable at this point. Okay, so going back to the plot of the episode, we find out that Jocelyn's team is actually interested in Diane, and it's kind of insinuated that they're gonna move away from Jocelyn to Diane and make her a star. And I think it's an interesting plot point because it's been set up that Jocelyn really relies on her team. So when it's revealed that they're actually working with Diane, I think shit's gonna hit the fan and it could really make the show a lot more interesting. And we also find out that Diane is part of Tedros's little cult type thing, and she's the reason why Tedros wormed his way into Jocelyn's life. So this could be very interesting, and I was not able to predict this in the last episode, so yeah, nice, good for them. And speaking of Tedros, you know, I'm really sorry. I really wanted to give The Weeknd a chance with his acting debut, but it's not good. I don't want to be mean, but it's just not good. It's not giving what I think he thinks it's giving. He sounds more like a kid trying really hard to sound like a grown-up. And that's about it in terms of substance, in terms of the information we need to know as viewers, because for the next 20 minutes, it's just a bunch of unnecessary stuff. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm laying it as real can get. It is just so disgusting. It's not relevant. It's not needed. I mean, if they wanted to show power dynamic and stuff, it didn't have to be as fleshed out as it was in the show. And the worst part is that I feel like they add all this stuff to make it seem cooler and edgy and for the shock value, but it doesn't do anything. It does the exact opposite. Like, it's a little boring. It's a little uncomfortable to watch, and it doesn't give what they want it to give. But basically what we're supposed to see is that he is in full control of like this weird sex cult kind of a thing, and they've just basically infiltrated their way into Jocelyn's world, into her life. And yep, that's about it. So yeah, this is where I stand right now with my review of just the first 2 episodes, but I will be watching the rest of the season, so I'll let you know if it gets any better or if it manages to do any worse than what it is right now. Yeah, you know, I really wish I could get my hands on Amy Seimetz's version. If anyone has it out there, just leak it. I'm really interested to see what too much female perspective would have looked like. I wonder if her version would have had a crotch shot. Anyways, let me know down in the comments if you watched the second episode, what you thought of it. Will you be continuing to watch the series or not? And I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.